I wasn't supposed to be home that early. My meeting got canceled, and I remember thinking she'll be surprised. I even stopped to buy her favorite iced coffee. When I opened the apartment door, it was too quiet. "Emma," I called out. No answer. I stepped inside and noticed her shoes near the couch. A second pair of sneakers sat beside them. Men's sneakers. My chest tightened. "Emma." I called again, louder. I heard a soft thud from the bedroom. A whisper. Movement. My hands started shaking before my mind fully accepted what my body already knew. I walked down the hallway slowly. Every step felt heavy. The air felt thick. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my ears. I stopped at the bedroom door. I didn't want to open it, but I did. The door swung inward. Silence. Emma froze on the bed. Jake stood near the edge, shirt half-buttoned. No one spoke for a second that felt like a lifetime. Jake looked at me first. "Man," he muttered, grabbing his shoes. I couldn't move. I couldn't breathe. Emma's voice trembled. "It's not. Don't," I said quietly. Jake avoided my eyes as he walked past me. "Say something," I told him. He paused near the doorway. "This isn't the time." I let out a hollow laugh. "Oh, it's definitely the time." He didn't respond. He just walked out. The front door closed. I turned back to Emma. She was crying. "It just happened. It just happened." I repeated. "We were talking and what?" I shouted. "You slipped." She flinched. "Don't yell at me." "Don't yell at you?" I felt my vision blur. I come home early and find my girlfriend in bed with a guy I pay to train her. "You're making it sound worse than it is," she said. I stared at her. "Worse than it is?" "It wasn't planned," she insisted. "We were emotional. We got carried away." "Emotional?" My voice cracked. "That's your defense?" She wiped her face. "You were never here." "He was. I was working." I yelled. "For us. You were absent." "I paid for that membership." I screamed. "I paid for him to be around you." "You paid for the gym," she shot back. "Not my feelings." The words hit harder than anything else. I stepped back like she had slapped me. "Not your feelings?" I whispered. "You don't own me," she said, her voice shaking. "Just because you spend money doesn't mean you control my emotions." "I wasn't trying to control you," I said. "I was trying to support you." "Support isn't just money," she replied. "And sleeping with him is?" I asked. She looked down. "It wasn't just sex." "That doesn't help," I said. "I felt seen," she cried. "I felt heard. And I made you feel invisible." I demanded. "You tried," she said softly. "But you were always fixing things instead of feeling them. So this is my fault?" "I'm not saying that. It sounds like you are." She covered her face. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." "But it did," I said. Silence filled the room again. The bed sheets were twisted. The coffee I bought for her was still in my hand, melting. "How long?" I asked. She hesitated. "How long, Emma?" "A few weeks," she whispered. I felt something inside me collapse. "All those late nights," I muttered. "It wasn't always physical." I laughed bitterly. That line again. I was confused. "You were selfish." She looked up at me, shocked. "Don't say that." "What else should I say?" I asked. "Thank you. I never meant to hurt you." "But you did." Tears streamed down her face. "I still care about you." "Then why?" I demanded. She didn't answer. Because there was no answer that could fix this. I looked around the room we used to share. The photos. The memories. Everything felt fake. "I can't stay here," I said. "Where are you going?" she asked. "Away." "Can we talk about this?" "What is there to talk about?" "We can fix it." "You can't fix this." She reached for my arm. "Please." I pulled away. "Don't." I walked out without another word. The hallway felt endless. The elevator ride felt suffocating. Outside, I called the only person I could. Ryan answered on the second ring. "What's up?" "I need you," I said. He didn't ask questions. "Location." I gave it to him. When he pulled up, I got in without speaking. He looked at my face and swore under his breath. "You saw it." I nodded. "With him?" "Yes." He gripped the steering wheel. "I'm sorry, man." I stared out the window. She said it just happened. Ryan scoffed. "Things don't just happen." She said I paid for the gym, not her feelings. He was quiet for a second. "Now you see who she really is." I closed my eyes. "I feel stupid." "You're not stupid. You trusted her." I funded my own humiliation. "You loved her," he corrected. I I shook my head. I don't even know what love is anymore. He parked outside his place. Come inside. Don't be alone tonight. Later, I stood in his bathroom staring at myself in the mirror. My eyes were red. My face looked older, weaker. I barely recognized the man looking back at me. I gave her everything, I whispered to my reflection. The man in the mirror didn't answer. He just looked broken. I stopped going to work 3 days after that night. My phone kept buzzing on the nightstand. Ryan, you alive? My manager. We need you in. Emma, please talk to me. I turned the phone face down. I didn't want to hear anyone's voice, especially hers. I lay on the couch, staring at the ceiling. You paid for the gym, not my feelings. Her words played on repeat in my head. Was I controlling? I muttered to myself. Was I absent? I sat up and laughed bitterly. I work 12-hour shifts. That's not absence. That's sacrifice. The doorbell rang. I ignored it. It rang again. Then I heard a familiar voice. I know you're in there. Go away, Olivia, I called out weakly. I'm not leaving. I opened the door. My older sister stepped inside and looked around. You look terrible, she said. Thanks. She crossed her arms. Ryan told me what happened. Of course he did. She sat across from me. Talk. There's nothing to say. You loved her. Yes. She cheated. Yes. And now? Now I feel stupid. Olivia shook her head. You're not stupid. I paid for the membership, I said, my voice rising. I paid for the guy she slept with. You didn't pay for him. You paid because you loved her. Same difference. She leaned forward. No, it's not. I looked away. Maybe I pushed her away. Did you cheat? No. Did you abuse her? No. Did you try? Yes. Then stop blaming yourself for her choices. I clenched my jaw. She said I was emotionally absent. Olivia sighed. Were you? I worked a lot. That's not the same as absence. She said he listened. And you did? I try to fix things. Some people don't want fixing, she replied. They want validation. I rubbed my face. I keep replaying it. Every word. Every look. That's normal. I feel rage, I admitted. But I also feel ashamed. Why ashamed? Because maybe I wasn't enough. She stood up and grabbed my phone from the table. Unlock it. Why? Just do it. I unlocked it. She scrolled through something and handed it back to me. Read. It was a screenshot Ryan had sent me earlier that I ignored. A message thread. Jake had been talking to one of his gym clients. The client had posted something publicly about him being too personal. Under it, someone had replied, Emma. I opened the comment history. Emma, some men pretend to support you, but just want control. Jake, you deserve freedom. Emma, my boyfriend doesn't understand emotional needs. The date was months old. Months. I kept scrolling. Emma, he hates when I stay late. Jake, that's insecurity. Emma, he always tries to fix me. Jake, you don't need fixing. My stomach dropped. She painted me as controlling. I whispered. Olivia nodded slowly. Looks like it. For months, I said. This started months ago. You see it now. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. I was funding my own humiliation. Olivia placed her hand on my shoulder. You can't control what she did. I trusted her. That's not weakness. She made me look like a villain. She justified her choices, Olivia said firmly. That's what people do when they want permission to betray you. I felt anger rise in my chest, hotter this time. She told him I was absent. Were you? She asked again. I was tired, I admitted. But I was there. That's what matters. I stood up and started pacing. I could go to the gym. I could confront him. And then what? She asked calmly. I don't know. You want revenge? I want him to feel what I felt. And will that fix you? I stopped walking. No. She looked at me carefully. You lost her. Don't lose yourself too. Her words hit differently than Emma's had. I sat back down. So what do? You rebuild. Ow. Start with yourself. I stared at the screenshot again. The lies. The narrative she built about me. I won't beg, I said slowly. Olivia raised an eyebrow. Good. I won't chase her. Good. I won't defend myself to people who already believe her version. She nodded. Good. I took a deep breath. I'll rebuild. That's my brother, she said. Later that evening, I stood outside the gym. The same gym. The same glass doors. I felt my heart beat faster. I wasn't there to see her. I wasn't there to confront him. I walked inside and approached the front desk. "I'd like to sign up," I said. The receptionist smiled. "Personal training?" I hesitated for half a second. "No," I replied firmly. "Just the membership." I wasn't there for emotional support. I was there to build something she couldn't break. The first week at the gym nearly broke me. I loaded plates onto the bar, but my arms shook before I even lifted. First time training seriously, a deep voice asked beside me. I looked up at an older man with gray at his temples and calm eyes. "First time training for myself," I replied. He nodded. "That's different, I guess." He pointed at the bar. "You're lifting anger, not weight." I gave a dry laugh. "Feels the same." "It's not," he said. "Anger burns fast. Discipline lasts." I wiped sweat from my forehead. "You a trainer?" "No," he replied. "Just someone who learned the hard way." "I'm listening." He extended his hand. "Daniel." I shook it. I know who you are," he interrupted quietly. "I've seen you around." I stiffened. "You know about everything?" "I know pain when I see it," he said. "Pain is fuel. Use it." The words settled in my chest. "Use it how?" I asked. "Every rep," he said. "Every early morning. Every time you want to quit." "I don't want revenge," I muttered. "Good," he replied. "Revenge wastes energy. Growth scares people more." I stared at the mirror in front of me. I still looked tired. Still looked betrayed. "I don't want to look weak anymore," I said. "Then don't," Daniel answered. "Show up. Every day." So I did. Again, Daniel would say when my arms trembled. "I can't," I'd reply. "You can. You just don't want to." He was right more often than I liked. Weeks turned into months. Ryan noticed first. "Damn," he said one evening. "You're changing. In a good way. In a disciplined way." I needed structure, I told him. "You needed self-respect," he corrected. At work, I stopped dragging myself through the day. My manager called me into his office one afternoon. "I've seen improvement," he said. "You're focused again." I had to be. "I'm promoting you," he added. "More responsibility." I nodded slowly. "Thank you." When I walked out of that office, I felt something I hadn't felt in months. Control. That night my phone buzzed. "Emma, can we talk?" I stared at the screen. Another message followed. "Emma, please." I locked my phone. Ryan glanced at me. Yes." "You answering?" "No." "Good." A week later, she called. I let it ring. Daniel saw my distraction during a set. "Something pulling you back?" he asked. "Ghosts," I replied. "Then let them haunt someone else." I smirked. "Easier said than done." "Strength isn't physical," he said. "It's restraint." I kept training. One evening, I walked into the gym and felt eyes on me. I turned. Emma stood near the entrance. She looked surprised. "You come here now?" she asked softly. "Yes." "For how long?" "Long enough." She looked me up and down. "You've changed." I had to. We stood in awkward silence. "I've been trying to reach you," she said. "I know. Why didn't you respond?" "What was there to say?" She swallowed. "I made a mistake." For the first time, those words didn't shake me. "I know," I replied calmly. She looked confused by my tone. "You don't seem angry." I said. "I used it to rebuild." Her eyes flickered. "Jake and I aren't." "I'm not interested." I cut in. She blinked. "You don't want to know?" "No." She hesitated. "He's been having issues." I heard. Rumors had spread quietly through the gym. Clients complaining. Management watching him closely. "He crossed lines with someone else," she admitted. I nodded once. Patterns repeat. "You're not going to say I told you so?" "No." "Why not?" "Because I don't need to." She stepped closer. "I thought you'd fight for me." "I did," I replied. "You just didn't see it." Her voice softened. "I was confused. I was loyal." "That's not fair," she said. "Neither was what you did." She looked down. I thought he understood me. And now I think I misunderstood everything. I studied her face. She looked smaller somehow, less confident. "You don't look at me the same," she whispered. "I don't feel the same." "That hurts." It hurt me first. Silence stretched between us. "I didn't think you'd move on this fast," she said. "I didn't move on," I replied. "I moved forward." She bit her lip. "Do you ever miss me?" I answered honestly. "I miss who I thought you were." That landed. Behind her, I saw Jake arguing with a staff member near the front desk. His voice was tense, defensive. Emma noticed me looking. He's losing clients, she admitted. People talk. I don't, I said. You don't feel any satisfaction? I considered that. Not really. Why? Because karma doesn't need my help. She looked at me like she was seeing someone new. I made a mistake, she repeated. And I made a decision, I replied. What decision? To never shrink myself to keep someone comfortable. Her eyes filled with regret. I don't recognize you, she said. I didn't recognize myself either, I answered. Daniel called out from across the room. You lifting today, or talking? I glanced back at him. Lifting. Emma exhaled slowly. I guess I'll see you around. Maybe, I said. As I walked toward the weights, I realized something had shifted. I wasn't chasing. I wasn't defending. I wasn't breaking. For the first time since that night, I felt stronger than the situation that once destroyed me. The power had quietly changed hands. I heard about Jake's suspension before Emma told me. Daniel leaned against the bench one afternoon and said, Your old trainer friend isn't here today. He's not my friend, I replied. He's suspended, Daniel added. Complaint from another client. Management finally acted. I didn't react. I see. Daniel studied me. Feel anything? Not what I expected. I answered. That evening, someone knocked on my apartment door. I opened it. Emma stood there, eyes red, hands shaking. He used me, she said the second I stepped aside. I closed the door behind her. What happened? They suspended him, she whispered. Another girl reported him. Said he crossed lines. I crossed my arms. And I wasn't special, she said. I thought what we had was real. I watched her crumble in front of me, and I felt something twist inside my chest. Part of me wanted to say, I told you. Another part remembered loving her. He made me feel chosen, she continued. Then I found out he was saying the same things to someone else. I stayed quiet. You don't look surprised, she said. I'm not. She wiped her face. You think I deserve this. I think actions have consequences. She flinched. That's cold. No, I said calmly. It's honest. She stepped closer. He used me. You used me too, I replied. That's not the same. It feels the same. She stared at me. You were stable. He was exciting. I was confused. I took a slow breath. You weren't confused. You were selfish. Her eyes widened. How can you say that? Because you knew what you were doing. I didn't plan it. But you allowed it, I answered. She shook her head. You don't understand how it felt. Try me. I felt alive, she admitted. You paid attention to every word I said. I paid attention too. You were busy. I was building a future. I didn't want a future, she snapped. I wanted the moment. And now? I asked. Now I want stability again. The honesty stunned me. So, I'm the safe option? I asked. No, she said quickly. You're the right option. After the wrong one burned you, she covered her face. Why are you being so harsh? Because I had to rebuild myself from what you did. Tears slid down her cheeks. I didn't know you'd change like this. I didn't either. She reached for my hand. I miss you. I pulled back gently. You miss comfort. I miss us. You destroyed us. Silence filled the room. I made a mistake, she whispered. You made a choice. Can't you see I regret it? I do, I admitted. I just don't know if regret is enough. She sank onto the couch. I thought he understood me better than you. And now I see he just mirrored what I wanted to hear. And what did I do? I asked. You told me the truth. I nodded slowly. Truth isn't always exciting. No, she agreed. But it's real. She looked up at me. Give me another chance. I felt my heart tighten. The old version of me would have said yes instantly. I've changed, she insisted. I'll do therapy. I'll cut contact with him. I'll do anything. Why? I asked. Because I lost the only man who truly cared about me. Her voice cracked. And you think that realization means I should come back? I asked. I think we deserve to try. We did try, I said quietly. You just tried someone else too. She stood up and grabbed my arm. Please, don't throw this away. You threw it away, I corrected. I was scared of being ordinary, she confessed. You were safe. He felt risky. I wanted to feel desired. You were desired, I said. Not the way he made me feel. And that was worth losing everything. She hesitated. That's what I thought, I said. She looked broken. So that's it. I walked toward the window, needing space. This is the moment, I told myself silently. This is where I decide who I am. Behind me, she whispered, "I love you." I closed my eyes. "You love the attention," I replied softly. "I love you now," she insisted. "Now that he's gone." She didn't answer. I turned back to face her. "I won't lie," I said. "Part of me still cares." Hope flashed in her eyes. "But caring isn't enough," I continued. She shook her head slowly. "Don't do this." "I have to." "Why?" "Because if I take you back now, I teach myself that betrayal is acceptable." "I'll prove it's not," she pleaded. "You already proved it is." She broke down completely. "I'm sorry." "I believe you," I said. She looked up confused. "You do?" "Yes." "Then why?" "I forgive you," I said, cutting her off. Her breath caught. "But I won't take you back." The silence that followed felt final. She searched my face for doubt. There wasn't any. For the first time, I wasn't choosing love out of fear of losing her. I was choosing myself. Emma didn't disappear after that night. She tried harder. Olivia called me one afternoon. She came by my place. I closed my eyes. What did she want? She said she's in therapy. "That's good," I replied carefully. She cried. Olivia added. Said she ruined everything. "I know." She asked me if you'd ever forgive her. "I already did." "Forgiveness isn't the same as reconciliation," Olivia said softly. "I know." She says she changed. Maybe she did. "Are you going to see her again?" I hesitated. "I don't know." That evening, Ryan sat across from me at the gym lounge. "She's still texting?" he asked. "Yes." And I'm tired." He leaned forward. "Don't reopen a wound that just healed." "I'm not healed," I admitted. "You're stronger." "That's not the same." He nodded slowly. "What do you want?" "I want clarity," I said. "Not confusion." "Then meet her once," he replied. "But don't go in with hope." So I agreed to see her one last time. We met at a small cafe near my office. She was already there when I arrived. "You look different," she said quietly. "I feel different." She twisted her cup in her hands. "Thank you for meeting me." "I'm not here to argue," I said. "I'm not either." We sat in silence for a moment. "I didn't think you'd move on," she said. "I didn't either," I answered honestly. She gave a weak smile. "I thought you'd fight longer." "I fought until I realized I was fighting alone." She swallowed hard. "Therapy made me see that." "See what?" "That I chase validation when I feel insecure." I nodded. "I know. I thought Jake made me feel special," she continued. "But he just repeated the same lines to someone else." I stayed quiet. "He cheated on me," she said. "With another client." The words didn't shock me. "The same pattern," she whispered. "He told her she deserved better too." I exhaled slowly. "I'm not surprised." "I thought I was different," she admitted. "I wasn't." "That must hurt." "It does." I studied her face. She looked older, worn down. "I keep replaying everything," she said. "How I painted you as controlling. How I made you the villain. You did what you needed to justify your choice," I replied. "I hate that version of me." "Then don't be her again." She looked at me carefully. "Do you ever miss what we had?" "I miss who I was before the betrayal," I said. She nodded slowly. "I thought excitement meant love. And now I know stability is love." "Sometimes," I said, "but stability without loyalty is nothing." Tears filled her eyes again. "I see that now." I felt the weight of karma settle between us. She lost him the way she lost me. Different details. Same betrayal. "I wanted you to chase me," she confessed. "When you didn't, I panicked. I chased my self-respect instead." She let out a shaky breath. "I lost the only man who truly loved me." The words hung in air. I stood up slowly. "That might be true," I said. She looked up at me, desperate. "Is there any chance?" I paused. There was a small part of me that still remembered our early days. The laughter, the plans. But I also remember the bedroom door. "No," I said gently. Her shoulders dropped. "I'm proud of who you're becoming," I added. "But I can't go back." She nodded through tears. "I understand. I hope you heal," I told her. "I hope you stay strong," she replied. I placed money on the table and stepped away. As I reached the door, I heard her whisper again, barely loud enough for me to catch. "I lost the only man who truly loved me." This time, I didn't turn back. Not because I didn't feel it, but because I finally understood that walking away was the real proof of growth. 1 year later, my life feels steady. Not perfect, Not dramatic, just steady. Ryan noticed it first. You're calm now, he said while we were grabbing lunch. Not angry, not chasing, just balanced. I'm tired of chaos, I replied. He smirked. You earned that peace. I built it, I said, and I meant it. My mornings start early. Workouts before sunrise. Focused hours at the office. Clear boundaries. No emotional guessing games. Daniel still trains near me sometimes. You don't lift with rage anymore, he said recently. I don't need to, I answered. What drives you now? Discipline, I said. Self-respect. He nodded approvingly. That's sustainable. At work, I don't overextend myself to prove love or loyalty. I give effort where it's returned. That's how I met Sophia. She joined our department 6 months ago. The first time we spoke, she looked me in the eye and said, I appreciate direct communication. I raised an eyebrow. That's rare. It shouldn't be, she replied. We started talking during lunch breaks. One afternoon she asked, Why do you always leave at 6 sharp? I value my time now, I said. She smiled. Healthy boundary. What about you? I asked. I don't chase people who don't chase me back, she answered casually. That line stayed with me. We didn't rush anything. No dramatic sparks. No emotional extremes. Just conversations. You seem guarded, she told me once. I've learned, I replied. From what? Experience. She didn't push. Weeks later, we were walking out of the office together. Can I ask you something personal? She said. You just did. She laughed softly. Fair. What happened in your last relationship? I paused for a second. I once paid for someone's growth and forgot about my own, I said. She looked at me carefully. That sounds painful. It was. And now? Now I invest in myself first. She nodded slowly. That's attractive. Why? Because it means you won't lose yourself trying to keep someone. Her words felt different from Emma's. There was no drama in Sophia. No craving for chaos. One evening, as we sat at a quiet restaurant, she said, I don't need to be rescued. I just want partnership. I don't rescue anymore, I replied. Good. I realized then how much I had changed. I wasn't trying to impress her. I wasn't trying to fix her insecurities. I wasn't trying to buy affection. I was just present. Later that week, Emma's name popped up on my phone for the first time in months. No message, just a notification from an old shared subscription. I opened my banking app and saw it. The gym membership. Still active. Still charging. I stared at the screen. Not because I cared about the money, but because it was the last thread tying me to that chapter. Sophia looked over from the couch. Everything okay? Yeah, I said quietly. Just closing something. I clicked on the membership details. Cancel subscription. A confirmation window appeared. I hesitated for half a second. Not out of doubt. Out of reflection. That membership had once felt like love. Like sacrifice. Like devotion. Now it felt like a lesson. I pressed confirm. Subscription canceled. Sophia tilted her head. Symbolic. Very. She smiled. Want to talk about it? Already did, I said. She waited. I used to think love meant giving everything. I continued. Now I think it means choosing wisely. And choosing yourself? She asked. Especially that. She moved closer. I respect that. For the first time in a long time, I didn't feel like I was proving anything. I wasn't competing. I wasn't healing. I was whole. Later that night, I stood in front of my mirror again. The same place where I once saw a broken man. Now I saw someone steady. Someone disciplined. Someone who didn't beg for validation. My phone buzzed once more with a bank notification confirming the cancellation. I smiled faintly. Not because Emma lost. Not because Jake failed. Not because karma came full circle. But because I learned. She said she needed emotional support. I learned to give it to myself. I have always believed love means sacrifice. If I care about someone, I give. I work overtime. I cancel plans. I fix problems before they even ask. That's just who I am. Why do you push yourself so hard? Emma once asked me while we were lying on my couch. Because I want us to have more, I told her. More comfort, more security, more everything. She smiled, but it didn't fully reach her eyes. Sometimes I feel like I'm not enough. I sat up. What do you mean? She hesitated. My body. The way I look. I hate it. Every time I scroll online, I feel ugly. You're not ugly, I said immediately. You're perfect to me. That's sweet, she replied softly, but it's different when you feel it yourself. A week later, she showed me a gym website on her phone. They have personal trainers, she said. It's expensive, though. How expensive? She bit her lip. Too much. I didn't even think twice. I'll pay for it. Her head snapped up. Seriously? Yeah. If it makes you feel better about yourself, it's worth it. She hugged me tightly. You always take care of me. I want to, I said into her hair. And I meant it. Well, I told my best friend Ryan about it. He stared at me like I had just confessed to something stupid. You paid how much? He asked. It's an investment, I said. She's been feeling insecure. Ryan leaned back in his chair. Bro, don't build someone up just so they can walk away taller. I laughed. She's not like that. They're all not like that until they are. Man, you're dramatic. I'm realistic, he shot back. Just don't forget to invest in yourself, too. I brush him off. Emma isn't going anywhere. At first, everything felt good. She would come back from the gym, glowing with energy. My trainer is amazing, she said one night, dropping her bag by the door. Oh yeah? I asked. What's he like? His name is Jake. He really understands me. The way she said it made me pause. Understands you how? Like, he listens. He gets why I feel insecure. He says it's normal. I forced a smile. That's good. That's what you're paying him for. He pushes me, she continued. But not in a bad way. Good, I repeated. Something in my chest tightened, but I ignored it. A few weeks passed. She started staying longer at the gym. Why so late? I asked one evening when she walked in almost at 10. Jake added extra cardio, she said quickly. He says consistency is key. You could have texted. I was busy. I nodded. Okay. Another night. I reached for her phone while we were watching a movie. She snatched it away. Why are you so jumpy? I asked. I'm not, she said defensively. You're imagining things. I just wanted to check the time. You have your own phone. The tone in her voice stung more than the words. A few days later, I decided to visit the gym after work. I wanted to surprise her. I saw them near the weights section. Jake was taller than I expected. Confident. Smiling easily. Emma noticed me first. Oh, what are you doing here? I thought I'd say hi. Jake stepped forward and extended his hand. You must be the boyfriend. I'm Jake. Yeah, I said, shaking his hand. His grip was firm, almost challenging. Emma talks about you a lot, he added. All good things, I hope, I replied. He smirked slightly. Of course. Emma laughed nervously. Jake's been helping me a lot. That's great, I said. As long as you're happy. I am, she replied quickly. On the drive home, I tried to ignore the feeling in my stomach. You seem close, I said casually. We train together every day, she answered. It's normal. I know. You trust me, right? She asked. Of course I do. She looked out the window. Jake says trust is everything in a relationship. I swallowed. Since when does he give relationship advice? He just understands people. The words echoed in my head. Over the next month, she changed. More gym sessions. More lock screens. More distance. One night, I reached for her hand, and she pulled away. What's wrong? I asked. Nothing. You've been different. I'm just tired. From a gym. From everything, she snapped. Everything meaning me? She sighed loudly. Why do you make everything about you? I'm just asking. You wouldn't understand. Try me. She looked straight at me and said, Jake just gets it. Silence filled the room. What does he get? I asked quietly. My struggles. My feelings. The pressure I put on myself. And I don't. You try, she said. But you're always working. You're always fixing things. Sometimes I just want someone to listen. I do listen. Not the way he does. That was the first time I felt something crack inside me. I stared at her, searching for the girl who used to hug me for paying her membership. I'm doing all this for us, I whispered. She didn't answer. That night, lying beside her, I realized something felt different. I had paid for her confidence. I had funded her growth. But as she drifted further away, I felt the first fracture in something I once believed was unbreakable. I started noticing the small changes first. Why are you home so late again? I asked when Emma walked in close to 11. Extra session, she said, dropping her bag. Jake thinks I need more core work. You didn't text. I was focused. I stared at her. You always used to text. She rolled her eyes. You're being insecure. That word hit me harder than it should have. I'm not insecure, I said quietly. I just miss you. I'm still here, she replied, walking past me. But she wasn't. Not really. The next night, we were sitting on the couch. Her phone buzzed. She flipped it over instantly. Who's that? I asked. No one. No one makes your phone light up like that. She sighed. Why are you interrogating me? I'm not. I just asked a question. You don't trust me? I do. I just feel like you're hiding something. She stood up. This is exactly what I mean. You're being insecure. I watched her walk into the bedroom, and for the first time I wondered if maybe she was right. Maybe I was insecure. Maybe working all the time made me distant. Maybe I wasn't enough. The thoughts wouldn't stop. A few days later, I went to the gym again. I told myself I was just being supportive. Jake spotted me first. Hey man, he said with that easy smile. Back again? Yeah, I replied. Thought I'd see how things are going. Emma looked nervous. You didn't tell me you were coming. I wanted to surprise you. Jake stepped closer and offered his hand. Emma talks about you a lot. I shook his hand. All good things. He held my gaze a second too long. She says you work hard. That's true, I said. He nodded. She deserves someone supportive. I am supportive. I'm sure you are, he replied smoothly. Something about the way he said it made me feel small. Like I was already losing a game I didn't know we were playing. Emma grabbed her water bottle. Jake really understands my goals, she said. I'm glad, I answered. Jake chuckled softly. We connect on mindset. Mindset, I repeated. Yeah, he said. Transformation isn't just physical. I know that, I said. Of course you do. I walked out feeling like I had just been measured and judged. That night, Emma barely spoke to me. Did I embarrass you today? I asked. No. You seem tense. I just don't like feeling monitored. I wasn't monitoring you. It felt like it. I rubbed my forehead. I'm trying here. Then try trusting me. I do trust you. Then stop acting like this. I went quiet. Maybe I was pushing too hard. Maybe love meant giving space too. But the distance kept growing. One night, she fell asleep with her phone in her hand. The screen lit up again. A message preview flashed before it locked. Jake, proud of you today. You opened up. My chest tightened. I told myself not to look. I told myself trust matters. But my hands moved before my pride could stop me. Her password hadn't changed. I opened the messages. Jake, you deserve someone who sees you. Emma, you see me. Jake, always. Emma, I feel safe talking to you. Jake, that's because I actually listen. My throat went dry. There was nothing graphic. No photos. No obvious lines crossed. But it was intimate, personal, emotional. Jake, he doesn't get how special you are. Emma, he tries. Jake, trying isn't the same as understanding. I felt like I had been punched. I put the phone down just as she stirred. What are you doing? She asked, sitting up. Who is he to you? I asked quietly. Her eyes narrowed. Did you go through my phone? Answer me. You invaded my privacy. Who is he? I repeated. She crossed her arms. He's my trainer. Trainers don't text like that. You're overreacting. Am I? My voice shook. He says he understands you better than I do. She stood up. Because sometimes he does. The words echoed in my head. Ow, I demanded. Because he listens, she snapped. When I talk about my insecurities, he doesn't try to fix them. He lets me feel them. I listen, I said. You give solutions, she replied. You don't sit in the feeling with me. I felt confused, guilty, angry all at once. So you emotionally replaced me with him? It wasn't like that at first. What does that mean? She hesitated. It wasn't physical at first. My heart skipped. At first, he was just emotional support, she said quickly. You were always busy. I stared at her. Emotional support? Yes. Do you hear yourself? You weren't there, she said, tears forming. He was. I was working for us. I didn't need money. I needed presence. And that give you the right to lean on another man. I didn't plan it, she whispered. Did it become physical? I asked, my voice barely steady. She didn't answer. Emma. She looked down. Silence. My heart started racing so fast I could hear in my ears. You said it wasn't physical at first, I said slowly. So what is it now? She wiped her face. I didn't mean for it to go that far. The room felt smaller. The air felt thin. All I did was try to support you, I said. And I needed emotional support, she replied. I stepped back like she had pushed me. Emotional support. That phrase kept repeating in my mind. I realized then that emotional support had turned into something more, and I had been the last one to see it.